The state median home price in Florida, as of early 2026, is $394,000. In Miami, a median single-family home runs $650,000. In Naples, $900,000. That's before windstorm insurance, HOA dues, and a property tax bill that adjusts upward with the market every year. Florida is still a great place to retire. No state income tax, no inheritance tax, no estate tax. A constitutional homestead exemption that cuts your taxable home value by up to $50,000 when you establish permanent residency. A law that caps annual property assessment growth. Seniors 65 and older who meet the income threshold. Currently around $38,686 in adjusted gross income, can stack an additional county exemption on top, cutting another $50,000 from the taxable value. All of that applies statewide. The problem is that most people searching for Florida retirement are staring at coastlines where fixed income math breaks down completely. Inland Florida, by contrast, offers lower insurance premiums, typically $2,400 to $3,800 annually versus $4,000 to $5,800 on the coast, along with significantly lower home prices and the same constitutional tax protections. There are 20 towns across this state where retirees are moving right now. Towns with lakes, rivers, and in some cases, a Gulf beach 30 minutes away with none of the coastal price tag. Several have hospitals that would genuinely surprise you. Here are 20 cheap hidden rural Florida towns retirees are moving to, 2026 edition. Inverness. Inverness sits in the center of Citrus County, and the reason it works financially is the same reason most people haven't heard of it. It has never attracted the speculative pressure that inflates real estate in more visible markets. No tourist economy, no resort development. The town grows slowly, which keeps property tax rates controlled and utility costs predictable. Median homes run between $180,000 and $235,000. Monthly utilities average between $180 and $220. The town centers on Lake Henderson. A paved riverwalk along its edge functions as the primary social artery, walkers, birdwatchers, residents sitting in the morning quiet. The Valerie Theater Cultural Center runs films, plays, and concerts year-round. Once annually, the town holds Cootertober, a month-long arts and cultural festival that is exactly as local and endearing as it sounds. Primary care runs through the George A. Dame Community Health Center, so routine medical access doesn't require leaving town. Inverness isn't pretending to be more than it is, and for retirees who've spent decades somewhere louder and more expensive, that restraint is the whole point. Sebring. Sebring sits in Highlands County, surrounded by citrus groves and freshwater lakes, and the cost stability here is structural. No tourism economy inflating local prices, no speculative real estate cycle. Median homes range from $170,000 to $220,000, and duplex rentals can be found around $900 a month, a number that's genuinely difficult to locate anywhere else in Florida. Daily life organizes around Lake Jackson at the center of town. Boating, fishing, and lakeside walks are the primary rhythms. The Highlands Art League runs an annual arts and crafts festival, and Sebring International Raceway sits nearby for retirees who consider that a selling point. What separates Sebring from most rural towns its size is clinical depth. Advent Health Sebring handles advanced cardiovascular care, orthopedic surgery, and emergency medicine. Highlands Regional Medical Center runs a dedicated heart health clinic. For retirees who factor healthcare access into their location decision, which should be all of them, that level of specialized infrastructure changes the calculation. Dunnellon. Marion County is Florida's equestrian capital, and that fact has a direct financial effect on Dunnellon. The horse farming industry preserves enormous stretches of open space and creates a structural incentive against high-density residential development. When development pressure stays low, property values stay manageable. The county median runs around $267,000, higher than some towns on this list, but what that price includes is a landscape with economic reasons to stay uncrowded. The Rainbow River runs through Dunnellon, spring-fed, clear, consistent temperature year-round. Residents tube it, kayak it, and watch birds from the bank at KP Hole County Park. If that river sat 40 miles east near the coast, resort hotels would line both banks and daily access would come with a fee. The equestrian economy also suppresses one of the most common cost creep factors in Florida retirement: high-density HOA communities. Large lot horse properties and open agricultural parcels dominate the county's land use, keeping the surrounding environment from filling in with the kind of planned subdivision infrastructure that brings monthly association fees along with it. The proximity to Ocala handles the medical equation. HCA Florida Ocala Hospital and Advent Health Ocala are both a short drive away, giving Dunnellon access to a full urban medical district without paying to live inside one. Apalachicola. Most Gulf Coast towns have priced themselves out of a fixed-income retirement. Apalachicola is the Panhandle exception. It sits in Franklin County, and while technically coastal, the financial profile diverges sharply from Destin or Panama City Beach. The county median runs around $283,000, higher than the Big Bend towns further east, but a different conversation entirely from Southwest Florida's Gulf communities. The town's identity is built around fishing and seafood. The Florida Seafood Festival draws the whole community together annually around locally harvested oysters. The Maritime District has a functional, lived-in character that disappears quickly once tourist economies take hold, and Apalachicola has so far avoided that. Weems Memorial Hospital is a 25-bed critical access facility, federally designated to guarantee 24-hour emergency care, laboratory diagnostics, outpatient radiology, and inpatient rehabilitation. Sacred Heart Medical Group supplements primary and urgent care locally. For a town of this size, that's a serious clinical foundation. Palatka. Palatka is the county seat of Putnam County, roughly 35 miles south of Jacksonville on the St. Johns River, and the cost structure rewards careful math. Median homes range from $160,000 to $210,000. In several configurations, buying costs less per month than renting. Grocery and retail prices run approximately 10% below the Florida state average. The city marina rents boat slips for $6 per foot per month. The town runs a free municipal bus loop, a meaningful detail for retirees who want to reduce or eliminate a car payment. Every spring, the Florida Azalea Festival marks the blooming of thousands of historic azaleas and serves as Palatka's primary civic gathering event. The Jacksonville proximity completes the picture. Under an hour away sits tertiary medical care, major retail, and an international airport. Palatka holds a rural price point while staying tethered to a metropolitan hub when the occasion demands it. Lake City. Lake City sits at the intersection of Interstate 10 and Interstate 75, and that crossing is the source of its financial advantage. Because the town is a primary logistics hub, it houses major regional fuel tank farms, which keeps local gasoline and energy prices consistently below the state average. The overall cost of living runs 18 to 19% below the national average. Median homes come in around $215,000. One-bedroom rentals average around $800 per month. The county maintains a 74-acre sports complex with free tennis courts and paved walking trails. Downtown Saturday Farmers Market runs year-round. Those aren't incidental amenities. For retirees building an active daily routine on a modest income, free public recreation infrastructure is what makes a budget actually livable. Deep northern interior geography provides storm protection. Tropical systems lose most of their intensity before reaching Lake City, which translates into lower property insurance year after year. HCA Florida Lake City Hospital anchors medical services, 24-hour emergency care, intensive care, and advanced cardiac programs. Wauchula. Two financial facts separate Wauchula from most rural towns in the central Florida heartland. First, most residential areas sit in Flood Zone X, carrying very low flood risk, no flood insurance required. That designation saves a compounding sum every year of a retirement. Second, the historic and rural residential areas carry no HOA fees. In markets where association dues run several $100s a month, that's a recurring cost Wauchula residents simply don't carry. The industrial economy, agribusiness, and phosphate mining, with the Mosaic Company as the primary employer, provides a stable municipal tax base that doesn't require speculative residential growth to function. Median homes sit around $230,000. One-bedroom rentals average around $799 per month. The Peace River winds through the county for paddling and fossil hunting. Advent Health Wauchula operates as a critical access hospital. Central Florida Healthcare provides primary, dental, and geriatric services locally. Arcadia. Arcadia is the county seat of DeSoto County, and its geographic position is the entire argument for moving there. Port Charlotte and Fort Myers are close enough for a day trip. The property insurance costs, coastal tax rates, and HOA fees of those markets are not something Arcadia residents deal with. Like Wauchula, residential areas here largely sit in Flood Zone X. Low flood risk, no flood insurance mandate, no association fees. Median homes run around $240,000, and median rent sits at roughly $746 per month. A major Walmart distribution center in the area stabilizes retail pricing for daily goods. Downtown Arcadia is an active antique and collectibles district inside preserved historic architecture. The town hosts rodeos and agricultural exhibitions regularly enough that they read as institutions rather than events. DeSoto Memorial Hospital handles acute care locally. The Community Care Family Healthcare Center operates as a federally qualified outpatient clinic for seniors. Okeechobee. The town of Okeechobee sits at the northern tip of Lake Okeechobee, and daily life here is built around that lake entirely. Bass fishing on Okeechobee is internationally recognized. Sport fishermen travel specifically for it. For retirees living there, it's what Tuesday morning looks like. Nature trails and state parks along the shoreline complete a water-centric lifestyle that planned coastal retirement communities can't replicate at any price. Median homes sit under $190,000. The economy is anchored by agriculture and logistics, Walpole Inc., and Like's Brothers Agribusiness are the primary employers, and that industrial base suppresses the gentrification pressure that follows tourism migration into small markets. Rawlerson Hospital covers acute medical needs. The Okeechobee Healthcare Facility provides skilled nursing, physical therapy, and rehabilitation starting at around $1,992 per month, a fraction of comparable coastal rates, and relevant for retirees planning ahead for managed care. Clewiston. Clewiston sits on the southern shore of Lake Okeechobee in Hendry County. The nickname America's Sweetest Town is a direct reference to its century-long sugarcane heritage. United States sugar and Southern Garden citrus anchor the local economy. Local government is funded by industrial output rather than residential growth pressure. When a municipality doesn't need rapid housing expansion to balance its budget, property taxes stay stable. Median homes sit under $190,000. The Lake Okeechobee Scenic Trail offers hiking along the lake's perimeter, freshwater fishing and wildlife watching, water access and open space without the coastal premium attached. The clinical depth here is the standout. Hendry Regional Medical Center is a fully equipped critical access hospital with 24-hour emergency services, cardiology, and orthopedic surgery. Clewiston Nursing and Rehabilitation provides short-term and long-term care directly in the community. For a town at this price point, that's an unusually complete medical package. Moore Haven. Moore Haven is the county seat of Glades County, Florida's least populous county in the heartland, and the home prices here are the most direct argument for rural inland retirement. The county median home price is $112,840. Monthly mortgage payments run around $640. That is the actual median, with a payment that leaves room in a Social Security budget for everything else. The Caloosahatchee River runs through the area. The western shoreline of Lake Okeechobee is accessible. Wildlife watching and river access define daily recreation here. The atmosphere is genuinely slow and low friction. The trade-off is commercial infrastructure. Moore Haven does not have a broad retail or dining sector, and that's worth naming plainly. Primary care is covered by the Moore Haven Community Health Center, a federally qualified clinic. For advanced clinical needs, Hendry Regional Medical Center in Clewiston is 11 miles south. For the retiree whose primary criterion is the lowest possible monthly overhead, Moore Haven is the most logically consistent answer in the state. Live Oak. Live Oak is the county seat of Suwannee County, and the Suwannee River forms a natural boundary on three sides of the town. Housing costs average roughly 36% below the national average. Two-bedroom rentals come in around $1,066 per month. Suwannee River State Park provides boating, fishing, and hiking through pine forests. Recreation that doesn't carry a fee for residents who live beside it year-round. The Good Samaritan Center operates as an assisted living and retirement facility with a local reputation for geriatric care. For retirees evaluating longer-term care options, a well-regarded assisted living facility embedded in an affordable small town is a significant logistical advantage that most rural markets can't offer. Medical depth is stronger than the town size implies. HCA Florida Suwannee Emergency is a 12-bed department functioning as a direct clinical extension of HCA Florida Lake City Hospital. The Palms Medical Group covers primary care locally. Live Oak manages to be genuinely rural and genuinely medically equipped simultaneously, a harder combination to find than most people expect. Perry. Taylor County's median home price is $98,480. Monthly mortgage estimates run around $560. Perry is where those numbers play out daily. The town's title, Tree Capital of the South, reflects generations of forestry, timber, and pulpwood industry. Those industries have kept speculative real estate pressure out. No seasonal demand surge, no remote work migration wave. That's the structural condition that held prices here while most of Florida inflated around it. Long-term residents with homes valued below $250,000 who meet income thresholds may also qualify for additional senior exemptions that can virtually eliminate county property taxes. A protection that compounds in value the longer someone stays. Perry offers something few towns on this list can match: immediate access to an undeveloped Gulf of Mexico coastline, coastal fishing, bird watching, natural shoreline, without the insurance premiums and tax rates of South Florida's Gulf communities. Coastal access and inland pricing in the same zip code is a genuine geographic anomaly. Doctors Memorial Hospital operates as the local critical access hospital. Taylor Medical Center handles primary care, and Marshall Health and Rehabilitation offers skilled nursing at rates that reflect the local cost structure. Chiefland. Chiefland is in Levy County, set slightly inland from the Gulf, and the cost of living figures here are specific: 22% below the Florida state average, 14% below the national average. The county median home sits at $168,470. Two-bedroom rentals average around $974 per month. The town serves as a regional retail hub for surrounding rural counties, keeping daily goods prices accessible without requiring a longer drive. Manatee Springs State Park is the primary draw, a first-magnitude spring with year-round clear water, kayaking, and West Indian manatees wintering in the warm outflow. That kind of natural amenity typically commands a real estate premium when tourism infrastructure surrounds it. In Chiefland, where the median home is still under $170,000, it doesn't. The Chiefland Health Center handles internal medicine, primary care, and urgent care walk-ins. The Palms Medical Group's federally qualified clinic rounds out geriatric and primary medicine locally. Chiefland also sits near the Suwannee River, giving residents a second major natural waterway within easy reach alongside the springs, two separate freshwater ecosystems accessible from a single affordable address. Madison. Madison is a historic north central Florida town, and the median home value sits at roughly $104,090, with average monthly mortgage payments under $600. That stability is structural. Madison County has preserved its historic residential districts, antebellum architecture, a main street with local diners and parks, because the local economy has never generated the growth pressure that rewrites a town's character over a decade. The Suwannee River and regional trail networks provide outdoor recreation. Daily life moves at the pace this town has maintained for generations. Madison County Memorial Hospital operates as a critical access hospital, full emergency medicine, laboratory diagnostic, specialized inpatient care. The Madison Medical Center runs as a federally qualified primary health clinic. Finding under $600 monthly mortgage payments and a functioning critical access hospital in the same community is genuinely rare anywhere in the Southeast. And if those prices sound like the floor, wait, the next town comes in lower still: Jasper. Jasper was incorporated in 1827. Hamilton County is sparsely populated and heavily rural, and the county median home price is $108,510. Monthly mortgage estimates run around $620. Combined with Florida's Save Our Homes cap, which limits annual property assessment growth to 3%, a retiree who purchases here locks in a payment structure that can't be upended by surrounding market appreciation. The Suwannee River defines the county's natural edge, and the recreational life here runs around it. River paddling, hiking, wildlife observation. There is no tourist-facing commercial infrastructure. What Jasper offers is solitude, open land, and river access at a price most of Florida can no longer come close to. The honest limitation is local acute care. Jasper has no major hospital within municipal limits. But HCA Florida Lake City Hospital is 28 miles south, and SGMC Health Main in Valdosta, Georgia sits 31 miles north, both reachable in roughly 30 minutes. That's 2 hospital options inside a half-hour drive, which is a workable medical reality for a county of Jasper's population. For the retiree whose requirements are low monthly cost, privacy, and river access, Jasper delivers all 3. Quincy. Quincy is the county seat of Gadsden County just northwest of Tallahassee. The state capital's medical infrastructure, retail corridors, and airport are all accessible without paying to live inside a capital city real estate market. The historic downtown is anchored by preserved Victorian architecture and an active local arts community. Gadsden County maintains Tangier Creek Park, 35 acres in the heart of downtown, with paved hiking trails, picnic pavilions, and an outdoor amphitheater, holding crowds up to 8,500 for local music and arts events. The Campbell Kelly Center runs senior-specific fitness classes, yoga, mat aerobics, Zumba, as a consistent weekly offering, not a special program that requires a membership or additional cost. That level of sustained municipal investment in active senior programming is less common in rural Florida than it should be, and for retirees who measure quality of life in daily options rather than one-time attractions, it registers. River Chase Health and Rehabilitation Center provides skilled nursing, therapy, and memory care locally. For advanced clinical needs, Tallahassee functions as a direct extension of local medical access. Defuniak Springs. Defuniak Springs is 30 miles inland from Destin. That geographic fact is the key to understanding every retiree who chooses it. The Emerald Coast is among the most expensive coastal real estate in the Panhandle. Defuniak Springs residents drive there in 35 minutes for the beach, then return to inland insurance rates and inland tax assessments. The town itself centers on a perfectly round, spring-fed lake inside a preserved Victorian-era downtown, a setting that would be unaffordable if it sat directly on the coast. The healthcare infrastructure is what genuinely distinguishes Defuniak Springs. North Walton Doctors Hospital performs same-day joint replacements. A 24-hour freestanding HCA emergency department operates independently with its own facility and staffing. Ascension Sacred Heart manages cardiology. Assisted living in the area averages $3,125 per month. That clinical depth makes Defuniak Springs a regional medical hub, not just a quiet panhandle town with a nice lake. Cross City. Cross City is the county seat of Dixie County, and the county median closed home price is $95,240. Monthly mortgage payments at that price run around $540. That is the lowest median closed home price in the state of Florida. The economy runs on timber harvesting, commercial fishing, and outdoor recreation. The Lower Suwannee National Wildlife Refuge borders the town, hiking, birdwatching, and riverboating without an attached fee structure. Dixie County has long been known as one of Florida's premier hunting territories, with private clubs and state-managed wildlife areas preserving thousands of acres. 2-bedroom fair market rent sits at $1,156 per month. Primary medical access runs through Palms Medical Group and clinics in neighboring Chiefland. Cross City deserves an honest description. The commercial and dining infrastructure is minimal. Remote living here is the actual daily experience. For the retiree running a serious fixed income budget who wants maximum financial room and maximum quiet, no market in Florida delivers both as completely. Dade City. Dade City closes this list with a different value proposition, one built on proximity rather than isolation. The town sits in Pasco County just north of the Tampa Bay metro area. The rural neighborhood of Ridge Manor has held on to its agricultural character and rolling topography, while surrounding Pasco County absorbed suburban expansion. Median homes in Pasco County run around $314,598, higher than most towns here, but that price includes fast highway access to Tampa's hospital system, international airport, and major shopping and dining corridors. The town's agricultural identity surfaces each year in the Kumquat Festival. Local food, artisan crafts, and a classic car show that's been drawing residents long enough to function as a genuine civic institution. Premier Community Healthcare provides primary, dental, and behavioral health services locally. Advent Health Dade City anchors hospital care. When the occasion requires a specialist or a procedure a smaller market can't supply, Tampa's full medical ecosystem functions as a direct extension of local care. For retirees who want a country setting without cutting off metro access, Dade City is the most direct answer on this list. 20 towns. Median prices from $95,000 in Cross City to just over $314,000 in Dade City's corner of Pasco County. Property insurance running roughly $1,000 to $1,500 cheaper annually than coastal zones. A state fiscal structure, no income tax, no estate tax, homestead exemptions capped at $50,000, annual assessment growth limited to 3%, that was built to protect fixed income homeowners from the long-term erosion of affordability. The pattern across all 20 markets is the same. They stayed affordable because the underlying economies, timber, agriculture, sugarcane, phosphate, commercial fishing, never needed speculative residential growth to survive. That financial stability isn't a temporary condition, it's structural. Florida retirement became expensive in specific zip codes and along specific coastlines where tourism demand drove prices past what fixed income buyers could reach. The coastal version became the dominant image, but it was never the only version. For retirees running the numbers seriously, monthly carrying costs, insurance overhead, healthcare proximity, what Social Security actually covers, these 20 towns are where the math starts working. Script, Hidden Rural Florida, 20 Cheap Towns Retirees Are Moving to 2026 edition,